Now, Hollywood superstar Matthew McConaughey always digs deep for the characters he plays in his blockbuster films. But now he's showing a vulnerability we've never seen before, releasing pages from 36 years of personal journals.
From the origins of his most famous movie line to a life-changing gap year right here in Australia, the actor and producer has turned to writing for his new memoir, Green Lights.
All right.
He's a household name with one of Hollywood's most recognisable voices.
Fugazi, fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust.
Matthew McConaughey first appeared on our screens in the early 90s. Since then, it's been hit after hit with films like Dallas Buyers Club, Magic Mike, A Time to Kill, and countless romantic comedies. But behind the characters, the fame and the success are untold stories, and the actor is revealing all in his new book, Green Lights. It's 35 years of private journals turned into a public memoir. Matthew, you're sharing your inner thoughts with the world. What does green lights mean?
We have red and yellow lights in life. They slow us down. They stop us. We don't like them. What do we like? We like green lights. They say go. They affirm our way. They're approval. They're a pat on the back. Keep going. Yes, yes, yes. They say yes. But I've found that many of the red and yellow lights in our life are put there and will reveal lessons that we're to learn later in life. And when that lesson is revealed, that's when that yellow or red actually turns green. You've been writing down all your thoughts since you were a teenager. Why put them in a book now? Yeah, I started keeping a journal, I guess, when I was 14. And like most people, ran to my journal to write things down when I was feeling lost or trying to figure something out, or, my girlfriend broke up with me, or it was a hard time.
The book gives an insight into the actor's wild, random and often brilliant thoughts.
Once I went away to the desert and opened them all up, I found that those things I thought I was going to be embarrassed about, I actually laughed at. I found those things that I thought I was going to be ashamed about, I actually forgave myself for most of them. Your fans think they know you, Matthew, but perhaps they don't. This is really eye-opening stuff. What do you think will surprise them about you? There's a wonderful story, one of my favorite ones in there, about the year abroad I spent in Australia as an exchange student. It is a wild coming-of-age story for me. And, when I look back at my 50 years, if there's one year that I had in my life that is most responsible for where I am today, it's that year of exchange in Australia. What actually was it about Australia that made it a pivotal point in your life? I ended up living in this small little farm town, away from everything. I didn't have mom and dad. I didn't have friends. I didn't have these things to rely on, to go to seek answers to, and to get some support for. So I was forced to go inward with me. That's when I really started writing in earnest. I created some wild disciplines for myself. I became a half-assed vegetarian, eating a head of iceberg lettuce with ketchup on it every night. I was running 6 miles a day. I was celibate, convinced that my calling in life was to become a monk.
It's stories like these that Matthew doesn't hold back on in the book. Now, I promised myself if I ever got to meet you that I would ask you this question. Do people come up to you in the street and say, all right, and do you find it really annoying?
Not at all, and it's in the book, but here's why. That's the first 3 words I ever said on film in my first film, Days Confused. Now, at that time, I didn't know if that 3 days that I was working there was going to be a little one-off hobby that I had one summer in '92 and never did it again. And here I am 28, 29 years later, and that little hobby turned into a career, and that was the first 3 words I ever said on film.
Okay, this is my bucket list moment. Could you please say it for me?
All right.
Oh, life made. That is my bucket list.
What a good guy.
He's so fantastic.
Yeah.
But the book it's wild. Like, it is literally what is obviously going on inside his mind on paper.
Okay.
He went into the desert to pour it all out, so be prepared for a wild ride.
All right.
Good fun.